Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today I'm looking for some advice. So, the footage you see in front of you is from Order of Battle Pacific. It is the Battle of New Caledonia from a campaign that I was playing maybe even 6 months ago. I still have like 2 hours of footage. There was a lot of gameplay that I recorded when I was really into playing Order of Battle. And I may do some more Order of Battle when the new game comes out. I think they're doing some more European stuff coming forward, so that may be something I cover. But I think this is probably the last video that will feature any kind of Pacific Theater stuff. Viewership kind of tapered off. I kind of lost interest in providing narrative to the series, and I'd mainly been using it as just kind of filler for various topics as I'm doing today that just needed some sort of gameplay footage to come over the top of actual topics that I was looking at covering. So I'm thinking this may be the last one. I may delete this and free some hard drive space up because I've got like 2 hours of footage left. Let me know if that's something you guys are cool with me abandoning that series. Certainly enjoyed the game quite a bit, played it quite a bit, and covered it quite a bit. But I think there comes a time in a channel where you need to say, okay, the viewership's not there, the content isn't really being used to promote or discuss or investigate the game. It's really just kind of only being used as a filler. And I can do other newer things with different games for fillers, Stellaris or World of Warships or any other game, Scourge of War or anything like that. I can easily play and record and use that if I need footage. So at least until maybe more expansions come out, this will probably be the last that you'll see of Order of Battle Pacific. This video I had hoped to be Civil War Generals 2, looking at the Battle of Seven Pines. I didn't have the time to get into that. I'm going to a wedding this weekend, and I'll probably post this on Saturday, at which point I will not be around. But I'm trying with all my might and this is going to be more of a channel update than anything, if you haven't gathered that by being 2 minutes in. But I'm trying with all of my might to keep a video every other day. A lot of YouTubers do 2 or 3 a day. A lot of them do at least 1 a day. My hope is, I've been doing this for over 4 years. I've made about 320 videos. So you can tell, what is that average? Like less than 1 in every 4, 1 in every 5 days or something like that. And I really have noticed, in my opinion, that kind of the sweet spot to maximize views and engagement with the channel, to get the most of you the opportunity to see the video, while at the same time, not flooding you with too much content, giving you a little bit of time to check it out without overwhelming you with so much that you can never tune in, seems to be around 2 days, every other day posting a video. That seems to be where I'm at. So I did want to post something, if only to kind of keep that going, and force myself to continue to create stuff. So that's what this video is about. Now, there's a few things I wanted to update you guys about. So the Order of Battle videos are going away. No great loss. You haven't seen much of those lately, but when you have, they've mainly been for reviews of books and things like that. The Atlantic Fleet videos are probably also going away. I know I used some footage the other day. I've got like an hour left of footage to use for that. But the campaign is long since deceased. I haven't been playing that recently. And I'm looking forward greatly to Cold Waters whenever that comes out. But I don't see the point, again, in using a game that I've mildly lost interest in. So Order of Battle Pacific and Atlantic Fleet going away. What's going to be replacing it? Well, I'm going to continue my Civil War Generals 2 series, and at some point I'm going to do some more live streaming of it. There's going to be a mix of gameplay commentary as well as historical commentary. I know I've kind of gotten mixed feedback from you guys about what you prefer, but it'll probably continue to be a mixture, with some videos discussing the battles and some videos discussing the gameplay. In addition to Civil War Generals 2, I am debating doing a series on Battlefield 1 when that comes out here in a few short weeks. First-person shooter, I know. They don't tend to cover those unless they're ultra groggy or just kind of very unique and indie-like, but I'm thinking about it. So I may do that, and much more of a discussion about the game and how it, I'm sure, fails to meet any sort of historical realism, but also discussing some design, decisions and strategies and things like that the game utilizes. So that's something I may do. In addition to that, I would definitely want to do a series that will look at my long-standing play-by-email War in the Pacific game with Belugan campaign. I know last year I had started an abortive effort to do a once-a-week update with that series. I don't know if it'll be once a week or if it'll just be, certain special events as they occur where I maybe cover them, but I really like the idea of trying to create almost like documentary type videos that sort of create this alternate history documentary type feel. I'm horrible with video editing, as anyone who's viewed my channel, a little bit probably can attest to. So bear with me. It may not end up working out all that well, but I definitely want to try and do some War in the Pacific. In addition to that, some definite series that I want to cover. Scourge of War. I want to look at both Quatre Bras and also Lin Ye, which comes out shortly. I also want to do some Scourge of War Waterloo itself. So just in general, some Scourge of War stuff is what I'd like to cover. I'm also intending to cover Cold Waters when that comes out. I'm thinking about a Civil War II series looking at the AJOD game. I will continue the Civil War Generals 2 series, so lots of Civil War stuff. I'm going to do a new Rule the Waves series, which I'm going to talk a little bit about more shortly. I think it's going to be kind of unique and interesting, but I don't want to let the cat out of the bag quite yet, so that will be something that more information will be coming shortly. So Rule the Waves, Civil War Generals 2, War in the Pacific, if I can get it to work right, or at least, make high enough quality videos that it isn't terrible. I would also like to do some Stellaris when the new patch comes out. I'm looking at doing a co-op with Kushin's Gaming for some Stellaris that I'll be covering. Potentially Civil War II by AJOD. And did I say Scourge of War? If I didn't say Scourge of War, I meant Scourge of War. And one other series that I would like to consider doing is a Silent Hunter 3 series. I have the Grey Wolves mod installed, so GWX 3.0, the last one of those. And I think it would be really neat to do a series of it. Now, the one thing that makes me a little bit hesitant is I'm not a hardcore Silent Hunter player. I don't know the first thing about accurately aiming torpedoes. Sorry, guys, it's not me, and it's just not something I'm great at. So I think it'd be really cool to do a Silent Hunter 3 series, because I think, borrowing the ideas around War in the Pacific, I think it'd be really cool to try and create almost like, maybe not a documentary, but like a diary type series. The captain and his musings of combat and the war, and as that all occurs, try and create this sort of story about a U-boat that as it goes through the war and it attempts to get its crew through patrol after patrol and attempts to survive. I think that could be a really neat sort of storytelling environment, almost creating your own fictional story built within this game. I think that would be really neat. I'm kind of inspired by Cuttlefish's Small Ship Big War, which was a War in the Pacific type thing, where he told, basically it was the story of a single Japanese destroyer. As he played his War in the Pacific game, he boiled everything down to that destroyer's actions. And I think it could be really neat to do that with Silent Hunter 3. But the thing that I hesitate to do that with that kind of a game is frankly, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to aim torpedoes manually. I'm going to rely on the AI for that. I play with pretty much the rest, full difficulty, damage, all the other limitations, even, could restrict out of submarine camera movement, but I'm not going to bother to do the geometry to figure out where to aim those torpedoes. I'm going to rely on, the game to kind of handle aiming itself. So if that's something that you guys think would be a horrible idea to do a series where I'm not bothering plotting the torpedoes, then please let me know. I like to think it could still be interesting and appealing, but I guess I'm kind of relying on you guys. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about. So again, in short, Civil War Generals 2, Rule the Waves 2, whenever that comes out, which could be a ways away. It was only recently announced. Then Rule the Waves 1 with this new series that like I said, I don't want to say too much about. Stellaris, War in the Pacific, if I can get it to work right, Silent Hunter, if that's something that you guys are interested about, and then also just kind of the occasional games as they come out. The various Scourge of War games, but anything else that comes out and is new and is worth covering, even if it's only briefly. But those are going to kind of be the big series for a little while. Those are going to kind of be the focus. Maybe a political thing in here or there as we kind of work our way toward the election. I'm not sure. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think. In addition to that, I'm still going to be doing book reviews and things like that, throwing random footage in from random games for that. And that's kind of the plan for the channel for the rest of the year. That's what I'm trying to do. So that was just me musing for about 10 minutes. Sorry, this isn't a more full-featured video, but it's 2 in the morning, and I'm actually leaving town tomorrow. You won't see this video until I'm out of town, but I'm not going to have time for probably 3 more days to record, so that's where the every other day type setup also works, because this doesn't overwhelm me. But say goodbye to Order of Battle Pacific. Also say goodbye to Atlantic Fleet, as you probably won't see either of those games or their footage anytime soon. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Please, this is, a lot of videos people say just leave your comments in the area below and you'll check them out for the sake of trying to get people to bump your views by having a really active comment thread. But this is a video I really need to hear from you guys. Really need to know what you want. I'm going to do what I want in the end, but I'm not quite sure I know what I want, so I need your help. My intent is to have fun with this channel, and that's what I do for the most part. I don't create videos just in the sole sense of what's going to get the most views. I think you know that if you know I'm playing war games. But at the same time, I don't really know if I know what I want to do yet. So I really want to hear from you guys. If there's anything in there that you don't think sounds like a good idea, if there's anything in there that you think, I'm missing something I should be covering, if you think it's a horrible idea of doing this sort of like storytelling type thing with Silent Hunter where I'm not actually aiming the torpedoes and I'm just kind of relying on the game to tell me, okay, we've got the right bow angle and, you've got your little green check mark that says we've got a solution plotted and now fire. If that's not going to work for you, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. And then, that should help me figure out what I want to do. But anyway, guys, like I said, it's almost 2 in the morning, so I appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.